Hello, BookTube. I have a tiny bit of mail for you today on a grim, relentless, cold day. This whole week practically has been autumn instead of late spring. It's hard to believe that June is a week away. There's almost no sunlight. It's on and off rain. The rain is cold. My solar houseboy had to turn on the heat here. I thought sure that the heat was off until November. Uh, but nevertheless, mail comes. Fortunately, I don't so much have to worry about the outside climate all that much anymore. My little dog really is not all that interested in constantly going outside, so it's very very negotiable. If the choice is between going outside and maybe shifting her position and cuddling a little closer to me here on the fainting couch, she'll almost always opt for the latter. So nevertheless, we could both stand a beautiful blue sky, bright summer day. That would be wonderful. But there's still mail, not much, just two packages. And the first package seems like it's from a person, not a publisher. So that could be someone breaking rule number one. Rule number one on this channel, for those of you who are new to the channel, is don't send me a book. You might think that that's exactly what I'd want, since my whole life is books, except for you. Except for you. My best friend is illiterate and doesn't care that she is illiterate. But it's not a good idea to send me a book unless you. She's still been yawning in every video I've made today. Unless you know I want it, it's tends to be a bad idea. And also not just because if I don't want it, then I probably don't want it, but also because I've learned since I got on BookTube something that I knew ahead. It's been reinforced on my time on BookTube, which is that a lot of people don't understand what a gift is. A lot of them don't. Maybe some of you listening to me don't understand what a gift is. And I do. Once you give me something, you have absolutely no say over it anymore at all. You don't get to tell me what to do with it. You don't tell me what not to do with it. You don't get to check up on it. You don't get to expect to see it if you come over here. None of that. You don't get to even ask about it. It's my possession now. So you no more have the right to tell me anything about how to dictate its future than you do any of my own possessions. That's what it means to give somebody a gift. It's not a string that's attached. It's not a way for you to control something in their life. You lose control when you give something away. And it's been my experience that probably 70% of the people who give gifts don't know that. They just don't think that at all. They think if I give you a gift, that means I can ask about it every time I see you. So for a number of reasons, it's a bad idea to send me a book. But let's see. Let's see. Okay. Hey, thank you for the little note says thank you for reading. I don't know that I know this. Well, anyway, let's see what it is. It's indie published. I'm amazed that I'm not flooded with indie books. I really am. I'm amazed that I don't get a million of them a week. It's true that I might not write a review of them, but I'm still going to show them to an audience of thousands of bots and hundreds of readers. That's not nothing. But this is by Timothy Shuttle and Rose Bell, and it's called Walking with Awareness. A dad and daughter hike the Appalachian Trail and process an adolescence derailed by addiction. Ordinarily, I'm not a big fan of hugely engorged subtitles, but that one does start to tell a story. Okay. All right, so partly a hiking memoir. Did I see a picture? Oh, look at that. All right. I don't know why this is being. I don't know why this is being sent to me. It might be something that I discussed in email. I'm just not remembering. I get a lot of emails in a day. It might be that. I don't really know. Or maybe someone watches this channel. I've mentioned before that I have hiked the Appalachian Trail. I through hiked it. So let's see what we have here. Let's read the back. Part memoir, part spiritual journey. Walking with Awareness is a raw, deeply moving, and at times humorous account of a father and daughter's transformative hike along the Appalachian Trail. For those of you who don't live in the United States, it's a hiking trail that is here in the east side of the United States that is amazing. It can be arduous, and it is amazing. It has spawned so many stories over the century. So many stories. Weaving together past and present, the author shares the gripping story of his daughter Rose's battles with addiction, his family's relentless struggle to help, and the profound lessons learned along the way about resilience, connection, and the power of small victories. Told with unflinching honesty, Shuttle recounts years of chaos, rehab centers, relapse, lost trust, broken promises, before making the decision to embark on a journey into the unknown. As they navigate rugged terrain and harsh conditions, they process years of turmoil, healing through awkward moments, shared silence, and hard-won conversations. The Appalachian Trail becomes more than a path. It is a mirror reflecting their struggles, their growth, and the hope that recovery, like a long hike, will progress as long as they keep moving. Interesting. In addiction circles, that absolutely does not work. In addiction circles, the idea that a special event or this big thing is going to change things absolutely does not work. It's usually a source of even more bitter disappointment than anything that had come before it. We'll have to hope that wasn't the case in this case. Is this a new book? 2025, yeah. Let's see. This is a book for anyone who has loved someone battling addiction, sought meaning in adversity, or questioned what it truly means to move forward. This book is a powerful testament to perseverance, love, and the unbreakable bond between parent and child. That does sound really good, right? I mean, that does sound really good. Probably tough reading, but really good. Oh, wait, there are other pictures. Oh, there are pictures all throughout here. Oh, great. There you are. Hanging a bag. Definitely want to do that on parts of the Appalachian Trail. You do not want to be visited by anything that wants what's in your bag. This has pictures that were taken along the way. It's all throughout the book. It isn't just that one of the trail. There are all sorts of ways to approach the Appalachian Trail. There are all sorts of, you can do little bits and pieces of it. You can do the whole thing. You can hike the whole thing. Okay. Great. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head why I was sent this, but I'm glad that I did. It does sound good. So again, this is an indie author. They're going to appreciate your business. So, I mean, I haven't read the book, so I don't know how well it's done. But if you are interested in the Appalachian Trail or in, the addiction struggle, you might want to put this on your radar. Maybe probe it a bit. If it's cheap online, you might want to buy it, see if it's any good. I will definitely get to it. I'll probably read it tonight. But then we have a package that is from a publisher. It's one of these white envelopes, but it's very light. It's wafer thin. So it's not going to be a huge book of the type that Steve delights in. It's going to be something smaller. All right, this is from the folks at FSG. This comes out in late September. This is Tomorrow is Yesterday. No offense to Star Trek. This is Tomorrow is Yesterday by Hussein Agha and Robert Malley. And the subtitle is Life, Death, and the Pursuit of Peace in Israel/Palestine. Okay, so this comes out in late September. The authors have been involved in Israel/Palestinian peace negotiations, Agha on the Palestinian side, Malley for the United States, going back to the 1990s. Notice who's missing. We're involved in the Israel-Palestine peace negotiations. So we've got a representative from Palestine and a representative from the United States. Malley most recently served as special envoy for Iran in the Biden administration, and Agha was affiliated with St. Anthony's College at the University of Oxford for 25 years. And the two have co-written much-discussed assessments of the field for a wide range of publications, including the New York Review of Books, the New Yorker, and Foreign Affairs. In this book, they draw on their personal experiences and insights, both as experts in the field and as participants who took part in many of the discussions that they write about, to present a history of the Israel-Palestine peace negotiations spanning from the Oslo Accords to the present day. I think we all know what peace negotiations Israel is engaged with today. Among other topics, the authors question the viability of a two-state solution. God almighty, this is, no offense to the publicist who wrote this, but this is aging like milk. The Netanyahu government has already said what it thinks of the two-state solution. It is going to destroy every last living Palestinian and raze the buildings to the ground. It is not going to stop until it does that. The only thing that will stop is if America stops supporting it in doing that. Although something that would come close is if the rest of the world divests and boycotts Israel. If the rest of the world did that and America didn't, it would still be hard for Israel to keep doing that. And that is just a baseball bat to the face. There is no nuance involved here at all. They are engaged in ethnic cleansing. They are destroying. Anyway, let's move on. They provide a frank look at the ineffectiveness of the United States as a mediator in the conflict over the decades. The United States would be extremely effective as a mediator if it used its wallet instead of its mouth. And place the events of October 7th and after in their full context. Okay. On October 7th, Hamas struck Israel and was responsible for 1,000 deaths, maybe 1,200 deaths. And in the months since, the Netanyahu government has been responsible for, I would believe, over 100,000 deaths, including 30,000 children. There is no full context for that. There is no full context for that. The Netanyahu government responded to an atrocity with a gigantic Holocaust. There's no proportion, there's no measurement, there's no nothing. They responded to an atrocity with unleashed bloodlust to eradicate an entire people from the face of the region. And they are doing that in full view of the world. Both as a retrospective narrative that traces the efforts toward peace over the last 3 decades and a keen work of psychological and political insight, this book provides essential grounding for understanding the stance of both Palestinians and Israelis over the decades, the historical roots and emotional stakes of the conflict, and the personalities involved in negotiations. There aren't any negotiations anymore. Obviously, from the pub sheet, the book was written after October 7th. These people range from Yasser Arafat to Mahmoud Abbas to Ehud Barak to Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu is involved in negotiations? Ultimately showing us how we got where we are today and what might lie ahead. A candid, informative, unique contribution, this book should generate much discussion upon its publication in the fall. I don't know what to say. The pub sheet is like it was written in an alternate dimension. I don't know what to say. The pub sheet, I don't know about the book. It certainly sounds like the book is also written in an alternate dimension. The pub sheet reads like we don't know. I don't know what to say about that kind of an account. 2-state solution? Peace negotiations? Netanyahu? Netanyahu is exterminating the Palestinians militarily. He is bombing hospitals. He is bombing schools. He is bombing aid convoys. He is through his generals are telling bombers to turn around in midair and return to the aid convoy because it looks like there's still movement. You didn't kill them all. Go back and kill them all. What about this hospital that has 1,000 senior citizens who've been crowded out of their homes and have nowhere to go? They can't even walk. What about that? Bomb it. Raze it to the ground. And people on the ground have cell phones, same as you and me. They're filming it. They're filming patients on their beds writhing in flames. There's new footage every day of wailing mothers forlornly walking through rubble, picking up the separate pieces of their little children. That is not about October 7th anymore. That is not about peace negotiations. That is not about 2-state solution. It's a completely different subject. It's a genocide. And it means that the nation, the government that is doing it, should be immediately a pariah state, should never be readmitted to the civility of man, and every single person involved should be at the Hague for war crimes. They're not even connected on the same spectrum. They're not even on the same spectrum. This has nothing to do with October 7th anymore. It has nothing to do with any of the negotiations these authors have been a part of before. It's... Okay, all right. This doesn't come out until September. That in itself is an unbelievably bitter commentary. Imagine what things will be like in September. Imagine what things will be like. A moonscape, a flattened, ruined moonscape. Will there be any Palestinians alive in September? Literally, anyone? Will there be any Palestinians left alive in the region in September? A 2-state solution. What's the other state going to be? I obviously, I honestly don't know. I guess FSG had, they've got this book in the works. They commissioned it. It was written probably in good faith. It was edited probably in good faith. There's a marketing campaign behind it, but how on earth? What on earth? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. Is there anyone in the world anymore who is credulous enough to think what the Israeli government says, which is that it is after Hamas and will not stop until Hamas is eradicated? Is there anyone in the world who's dumb enough and naive enough to believe that anymore? After all that you can see, if you just go on Facebook for 5 seconds, go on Instagram for 5 seconds, look at any news outlet, if you can find one that hasn't had all of its reporters shot in the head by the IDF, obviously because they don't want what they're doing to be reported on. This is the biggest war crime in modern history being committed on live television in front of us all. There is no place for books about two-state solutions and the troubled history of negotiations. It's a different subject. It's become a different subject. No one wanted to read a review of the theater performance at which President Lincoln was assassinated. The subject has been changed. The subject is now different. Anyway, sorry. So, sorry to put these two together. This author cannot possibly have expected that. That's the mail so far for today. And thanks to the mail, I need a walk. We're going to go out rain or no rain. Good Lord. Okay, all right. Sorry for a contentious. If more mail comes today, I will do another mail haul later, just to turn the tone of this thing around. It's not FSG's fault. I don't think. It's FSG's problem. The editors involved in commissioning and working on this book probably thought it had meaningful things to say. I think it is literally impossible that it does. But they probably thought that it did, that it was a valuable contribution to a discussion. It might have been a valuable contribution to a discussion before October 7th, before this massacre that has taken place and is taking place now. It isn't. I don't know. I haven't read it. It doesn't seem to me possible that it can be a worthwhile contribution to the subject that is now in place. The subject has changed. The subject is no longer peace negotiations between the Palestinians and the Israelis. That is not the subject anymore. The subject is, how can the world get Israel to stop killing children? To stop killing thousands of children every month? How can the world get Israel to stop killing thousands of children a month? And you're not going to be able to do that unless you do it with money, unless you cut off their supplies and their aid, their financial support. And you're also not going to be able to do it if you have high officials in the Israeli government saying that even Palestinian children are members of Hamas and are guilty, that there are no innocents, that there are no civilians here. Everyone's a target. Anyway, sorry. I stumbled onto this subject without knowing it. We'll wrap this up before I go on any longer. The only point I want to make here is that there's no spectrum here. And there's also no multiple viewpoints. If you do not condemn Israel, you're a monster. If you don't condemn what they're doing in Palestine, you're a monster in the Palestinian territories. If you think this is somehow still a response to Hamas, you're a monster. This is one of the rare subjects in the world today where there aren't viable opposing opinions. Any more than, to use the obvious example, any more than there would have been if word came out in the mid-1940s of what Germany was doing to the Jews in its territories. There wouldn't have been, you couldn't have said, well, maybe they are siphoning a lot of the money. No. In 1942, there would only have been one permissible opinion. Only one opinion that doesn't make you a monster. And the same thing is true now. The minute... Well, so I said I would stop, didn't I? All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to cuddle my baby. I'll think about whether or not I want to upload this. I want you to know about this book. Definitely, I want you to know about this book. And maybe even I want you to know about this book. I don't know. I haven't read it yet, so we will see. I can assume that the two authors have spent their careers working in good faith towards what they thought was a humanistic outcome in a long struggle. That is over. That long struggle is over. It ended in the months immediately after October 7th. That long struggle is over. That subject is over. There is no more subject of peace negotiations between Israel and the Palestinians. That is not a subject anymore. That does not exist any more than the internal arrangements of the Ottoman Empire. That subject is over. And I have a feeling this book is going to be about that subject. So what am I supposed to make of it? Anyway, I'll wrap this up and I'll be back. Sorry, BookTube. I'll see you soon.